So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to change the appearance of your model to make it look like the way you want it to look. So I'm actually going to go back into one of the models we already created, the smiley face model. So you guys can pause this video and go ahead and open that file. If you have not made it yet, that's okay. You can go ahead and watch the video on how to create a 3D model out of a 2D image, and you will have the smiley face. So let's go and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and unshow the canvas and just show the model itself. So in order to change an appearance of a model, we go into the workspace called the render workspace here. And in the render workspace, as you can see, our model looks a little bit different from the model workspace. As we rotate it, it changes lighting a little bit depending on which face we're looking at and which way we rotate. And our environment completely changes. Our canvas is no longer white, it's completely gray because of the environment that we are in. So in order to change the appearance, you can either go here and click appearance and then click the model and then click the drop down menu. And now it's highlighted body 1, so we know we can change the model here. So if we go into our library down here, I've already opened some, but you can see we have several different options for appearance: glass, metal, paint, plastic, wood, leather, and cloth, whatever we want. So I'm going to go ahead and go into plastic, double click that, and I'm going to close opaque and close textured and translucent. And as you can see, we have 4 different options. We have opaque, textured, translucent, and transparent. I'm going to go ahead and go into translucent, and I'm going to click ABS white and drag it all the way over to my model. As you can see, the appearance changes to white now instead of the gray that we had before. Now it looks a little bit more like ABS. So I'm going to go, the default for ABS is white, but you can actually change the color if you want. Let's say you're like, yeah, but my filament is actually red and I wanted to represent that more accurately. You can go ahead and right click on ABS, click edit, and then go ahead and change the color. Click done, and then close this, and we have changed the appearance of our model. But we can actually take it a step further and change the lighting, change the environment background. So I'm going to go ahead and go to scene settings rather. And as you can see, our environment, we can change the brightness of it to go all the way up or all the way down and it's black, or just, play around with it a little bit until it feels just right. I like the way that looks. That's actually a little bit too bright. There we go. I like the way that looks. We can go ahead and change the background. We can make it like a solid color instead of our environment. Like we can make it all red if we want, and click apply and it's all red. That looks a bit weird for me, so I'm going to go back to environment. We can flatten the ground, do reflections. We can change the camera from perspective to orthographic, perspective with ortho faces, change the exposure, focal length, depth of field, center of focus. We can change where that is located at, viewport aspect ratio. There are so many different options for changing the environment and changing the scene settings to make it look more appealable for us, to make our models really stand out and pop. And you may be wondering, what is the environment exactly? So if you go ahead and click screen settings and you go into environment library, there are several different environment options that Fusion 360 gives you for free. You can actually upload more if you go ahead and find them on the internet and you're like, yeah, I think I want to just use my own. So I am in the sharp highlights environment, but you can play around different things. For example, if you want a more scenic environment, like let's say the dry lake bed, you go ahead and drag it onto the screen, and as you can see now we have a dry lake bed environment background, and it really depends on what your model is. I don't think a smiley face needs a dry lake bed background, so I'm going to actually try and do photo booth, and I like the way that looks. Actually, I think that looks pretty cool, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And I think that looks pretty cool for me. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that, get out of scene settings, and you can save the image as well. So you can go ahead and click capture image, and then go ahead and click OK. And then you can save to your computer and save it to the file you want on your computer by clicking this, or save and also save it into the location in Fusion 360. And that, guys, is how you change the appearance of a model.